What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Conjecturing Podcast, a podcast where we talk about horror movies and horror-related content. I'm your host, Rob. With me is Laura
Hello.
and Greg.
What's up, guys?
How you guys doing? How you little monsters doing?
Oh,
Aw,
how Lady
that's cute.
Gaga of you. Yeah, that is
Lady
cute.
Gaga, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. I wasn't sure if was I calling you guys little monsters or was I asking about your kids. How did you take that?
I
think
thought you
we're
were
all-
calling us little
We're,
monsters.
we're sort of all little monsters when you think about it. I mean, you know,
That's true.
adults are. Who's the artist that does Calvin and Hobbes? He once said, "Adults are just obsolete children." So I think we're all little monsters to some degree.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
true. Wow, got real for a second. Okay. All right.
Don't
You
ever
guys
call
know me.
me obsolete until I am obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Tonight we're conjecturing 1989's Little Monsters, a movie about real monsters under your bed and, of course, divorce. So
Oh,
you took it to
womp.
the.
got some good stuff there. Got some
Yeah.
good stuff there. You know, I'm a
Jesus.
child. I'm a child of divorce, so this hit me right in my little monster heart. Greg, what is up with your background, dude? Did you draw that when you had free time?
Honestly, I wish I had drawn this. This is I love this art style. So this is basically a collage. You can tell it's hand drawn, and each part of the collage is a different scene or character in this movie. It's got this like teal, red, black, white palette, and there's just something about the hand drawn shading. You can tell like you've got Maurice right there, Brian facing him. It's very symmetrical with the boy kind of pulling the strings above everybody.
Ugh.
Like, tell me how cool this collage looks.
It's
It
pretty
looks
cool.
dope. It looks
Look,
dope.
look at the eyes popping out right here on this
Yeah.
side. Oh, actually, on this side.
I'd hang that up
Ooh.
on my wall. You know?
Yeah, me too. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's very horror-ish. It's very horror-ish. Yeah.
For
I like it,
sure.
I like it. Cool. What about you, Laura? What do you got going on in your background?
So this is kind of a funny story, but I gotta start off by saying that I think the Savage brothers are such great actors. Like I've loved
Hmm.
everything that they've done. Obviously, little Ben Savage was like what 5 in this movie.
Yeah.
He is such a baby. He's so cute.
Hmm.
But I noticed 2/3 of the way into the movie that in one of the scenes where there's a bunch of monsters, he's a monster in the background. They just
Mhm.
used him as an extra.
Yeah, the
What?
baseball scene when they're playing baseball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ben
So-
Savages.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
So
wow.
my background is actually a really cute picture of him, and then him as a little monster.
Oh, I see it. That's cool.
He's even cute as a little monster. You know.
I mean, so cute.
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I went creepy. I went boy. I went the boy in this movie.
Boy.
I picked this movie, and this is one of the reasons I saw this movie when I was very young. It fucking scared me and traumatized me, and it was all because of the boy, and his creepy skin face. So I put him in the
Mhm.
background there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's get into the movie. So, like I said, Little Monsters, 1989 film, directed by, is this Richard Greenberg? Is it Richard or Rochard? I got Rochard on here. Maybe I misspelled it, but yeah, it says he's
Maybe I misspelled it.
maybe so. I don't know. It says he's most widely known for his work in designing the main titles of movies, like the intros of movies. He did Superman 1978 film. And I think I read somewhere that the studio wanted more of an art person to come in and direct this movie. Brad Bird was up for it, but he didn't get it, and they went with this guy. I don't know if that's the right choice or not, but yeah, this movie stars, of course, Howie Mandel, Fred Savage, of course, from The Wonder Years and The Wiz. Love The Wiz. Little Ben Savage. We already talked about his cute little ass. Then you got
God, no. Take that back.
No,
Delete.
no,
Retract.
no. I didn't say cute like comma little
Oh,
ass. I said
God.
cute little ass. He's a cute kid. He's a cute kid. Come on, you guys are
No,
disgusting.
Rob, you
It's a
put
kid
the word.
movie.
Rob, you put the word "ass" in the wrong place. It's
Oh, I
cute
did?
ass little kid.
Oh,
not
okay,
cute
sorry.
little kid ass.
Okay, sorry about that. Everybody know what I'm talking
The
about. Come
order is
on.
important. The
How
order
dare-
of the words.
How dare you guys? Don't do that. Don't do that to him. You got Daniel Stern in this movie, of course. Home Alone and shit. The Wet Bandits. You got Margaret Whitten. You got Rick Duckerman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I know him from The Burbs. He's in The Burbs. I love him in The Burbs. Really good character actor. And of course, you got Frank Whaley as the creepy as fuck boy in this movie. Creepy as fuck to me.
Cute ass boy.
Cute ass boy. He definitely was not cute. He wasn't cute, man. Look at my background. Look at him. Yeah. I don't know what his booty looks like.
But does he
actually.
have a cute ass?
I mean, did he skin a boy's ass and put it on? Maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
But his real ass is freaking creepy. I'll tell you that much.
That was by the way. That was one of the most awkward lines. I need someone to justify why that was in there in this movie.
what line?
The nice ass comment.
Oh, when they pants him, when
Right.
they pants Fred Savage.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to ask, like, Laura, you like Fred Savage as an actor. You
Mhm.
liked Ben Savage. He's super cute. Did any
Yeah.
of you guys watch Boy Meets World back in the day? When
Of
little
course.
Ben
Duh.
Savage
Yeah, we all
Hello,
did.
TGIF.
TGIF. There you go. I forgot about that. Is it weird, like, seeing him so little and so cute, and then to see him in that show when he's like older?
He's kind of an extension, like in Boy Meets World. No, you mean Ben Savage? Yeah.
Ben Savage.
I don't know. He's an extension of his personality. I think they both are. They both are very kind of like cute and snarky in your younger age, and they leverage that as they get older in all of their roles. So that's kind of like both of their things, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is it's pretty crazy to see him so young because he's what, like a teenager through most of Boy Meets
Yeah,
World?
I think so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I will say with Fred Savage though, like I was obsessed with the Wonder Years, you guys.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin and Winnie forever.
Yep.
And he was like that age when this movie
Mhm.
came out. So I don't really know him as well now that he's older.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
My brother and I used to watch this claymation VHS tape called Dinosaurs, and it was narrated
Oh, I
by
remember that.
Fred Savage. And his voice and
Yes!
his like snarky attitude was spot on with this character. We would like
Oh my
replay that over and over again.
God.
You remember this?
You just unlocked. Well, I did watch Dinosaurs, but I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
Fred Savage. So let's start talking about the movie here a bit. So let's say, like, who saw this as a kid? I mean, I picked it. I definitely saw it as a kid. Greg's hands going up. You saw this as a kid, Greg?
Yeah.
Do you remember like seeing this in the theater when it came out in '89?
No, I think I saw it on like again, everything was VHS back then.
Oh
I saw it on a VHS. Howie Mandel was young and he was still like popular. I like Boy Meets World. Like, a lot of the things that he was doing, he was very popular at the time.
Bobby's World.
Yeah. Bobby isn't that what I said?
You said
Bobby's
Boy
World?
Meets World.
Oh no, Bobby's World.
Bobby's World. Mhm.
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think I saw it on tape. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same too. I mean, I don't think I was like old enough to even. Oh, I mean, I was old to see it in theaters, but definitely my parents weren't taking me to see this in theaters. So I was same as you. I remember renting this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would have been 2 years later, I guess. Probably in like '91 or '92, I probably saw it. Rented it. I mean, the cover of the VHS and some of the posters, like, it looks fun. Like, there's like a
Totally.
monster,
Right.
there's Fred
Right.
Savage, and they're kind of like, oh no, what are these shenanigans they're going to get into? And then, of course, we'll get into the movie and like the darkness that's actually behind the scenes here. But so definitely I saw it as I was young, but I haven't seen this movie in decades. It's been so long since I've seen this. And Laura, first time viewing, right?
Not only first time viewing, but somehow I went my life without knowing this movie existed.
Wow.
So when Rob told me, hey guys, I'm choosing to do Little Monsters, and he sent me like a GIF,
Yeah.
Howie Mandel and his getup. And I was just like, I think he was like
around.
doing what, he's going like, la, 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 you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like,
A child,
what the
yeah.
hell are you about to make me watch? And then I found out it was an 80s movie. I'm like, where was I? How did I miss this? Like, I thought I saw all of them. So
Rob, did this movie
Yeah.
gain cult status, would you say? A cult following? I think
This
it
is
did, right? To some degree.
Definitely a cult following movie. So, like, the story with this movie is during production of it, the production company that was making it went bankrupt. So they went bankrupt. They finished filming the movie, and then the rights got sold off to TriStar, I think, or Universal, or somebody like that. But at that point, like, nobody wanted to put more money into this movie. I think on Wikipedia it said $7 million to make. I don't think that's right. I don't think this movie cost $7 million. But they only released this movie in like 180 theaters. Like, that's it. And it like didn't release
Wow.
in certain countries. Like, so it had like no release. I know there was some posters out there of the movie, but this got like no push from anything. And so like ultimately, like, it had a limited release. I think the box office was only $800,000. Like nobody went to see it because nobody
Wow.
could find it or knew about it. And then I think this one released in August. This released August of 1989. Of course, Fred Savage is in it. And then also just a little bit later than that, The Wizard, whatever you want to call it, came out in December of 1989. And that movie cleaned up and made $14 million.
Yeah.
So like this movie, nobody even knew about it probably until VHS, and it came out in VHS and people rented it, and then people started actually watching it, and then it got a cult following from that point on. So I think it was just bad luck from this movie, because you talk to Howie Mandel and Fred Savage, and like they had a blast making the movie. The script is like decent, but for a kid movie at the time, it's pretty damn good. I just think it didn't have any backing at the point to make any money at all. But I did want to ask you guys, like, do you think if it was promoted better, do you think it actually could have been like a hit if this came out in '89 and was available for everybody to see it? What do you think, Laura?
Oh, that's so hard for me to say. It's just really unfortunate because if you watch any 80s movie as an adult, if you had not seen it as a kid, everyone thinks that 80s movies suck. Like, I know people that never grew up watching The Goonies who are like, The Goonies is a horrible movie. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So I feel like I almost can't answer these questions because I really went into this open-minded and I found a lot of positives. But I mean, you guys, this is like 80s trash. I don't know. Like, it's so dumb.
Another man's trash is another person's treasure. Shit.
That's true. So I personally don't. I think whatever cult following it has is probably accurate. I don't know. I don't think it would have been any bigger.
What do you think, Greg, if this like had a really good push behind it and everything?
I don't think so. I mean, personally, like Laura said, it's hard to say to try to retroactively go back and sort of make an opinion. But to me, I was sort of I forgot a lot about this movie. Watching it now, I was confused about the target audience. Sort of like it's mostly this toilet humor for kids, right? But also at the same time, it's super disturbing to where I wouldn't want to show my kids. It's PG. There's a lot of like violence and a lot of profanity that I wouldn't show kids, but it seems like it's also meant for kids. So I'm not sure if the improved marketing would have actually helped it catch on more, because I think people would see it and they go, I don't really know who I'm going to show this to. I think there was a little bit of confusion, at least my opinion watching it.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is definitely written by adults for kids. Like, it's an adult writing this, being like, what do kids like, but still slipping in a lot of like dark shit and cussing and this and that. And I mean, if anything, maybe like a PG-13 rating. Right. I don't know if that would be better or
I'm
not.
surprised. Wait, it wasn't PG?
It's just PG.
It's PG.
Just PG.
Wow.
Yeah. This is like right there with
This
is like right there with like Return to Oz, which came out in '85, where it's like a PG Disney movie, and you watch and you're like, this is disturbing.
Yeah.
No.
This movie was straight Beetlejuice for kids. Like dark, twisted, like pretty scary.
Close.
Yeah, it's funny. So let me just like rattle off a couple of other PG Disney movies. Okay, Tangled, Frozen, Finding Dory, Luca, Lightyear, Raya, Moana. Like,
how are they in the same camp?
Yeah, these are not in the same camp.
Oh man,
that's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think like when this came out in '89. I mean, this is all after the big like push of like E.T. in 1982, and like you said, Laura, Goonies in 1985, of like kid centric. They're the protagonists. They're the heroes of the story.
Yeah.
Like before that, it was mostly like about every movie's about adults. Right. This is like since E.T., it's like everything is about kids.
Yeah. Never-ending Story.
Yeah. So there's just like so
Sandlot.
many of those movies like that, and this is just kind of coming off of that, but making it like creepy, Like, I feel like if this movie was remade like nowadays, like this is a lot of movies now, like kids and creepiness and monsters. Like this is like Stranger Things light, this is like a Stranger Things movie, but just like, of course it doesn't have production value and it doesn't have like super great writing, but it's like right there. I feel like this is laying like the groundwork for what's to come eventually with a lot of these things, So what did you guys think? Maurice, the Savage brothers, the acting overall in this movie? Laura's shaking her head, so But what do you think, Laura? How did Maurice do it for you?
Yeah, the Savage brothers were fine. They were great and dandy. I, God, you know, I guess I should say that Howie Mandel acted his ass off. He killed it in this role, but the character of Maurice is not for me. Not only because he's an asshole who does asshole shit that as an adult really fucking pisses me off. It's not even that. Okay, I guess I'm a little mad about that. But it's the fact that he is so clearly amped up on cocaine, you guys, that it was giving me bad anxiety through the whole. I mean, he's just like, I'm gonna go this fast. I'm gonna do this. And I just was like, I'm taking deep breaths as I'm watching this movie. Like, whoa, dude, whoa,
Slow down.
slow down. It was distracting. I think I got used to it towards the end, and then things started to get pretty twisted, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But and it. You know, my other problem is that they didn't have great chemistry. So like Maurice is really fast paced and crazy, and Fred Savage is pretty like calm, cool, collected, like kind of a slower talker. So it was very different characters that were together as a duo through the majority of this movie, and it was just like, I don't know, it did not work.
To me, I thought that's what worked though, was like the difference, the contrast of each other. I thought that's what worked to me, you know? I mean, there's like a couple of moments in this movie where Howie Mandel does like get like sentimental and slow.
Right.
And
I like those parts of the movie.
Yeah.
That's when it like had heart.
Yeah, but I feel like those work so much because the rest of it he's on cocaine. You know, it's like those work for me more. What do you think, Greg? Where are you at, Greg?
What you guys just mentioned is so interesting, and I think I side with Laura. There seemed to be an incongruence there. Like, I don't understand why Brian really liked to hang out with Maurice. I think what they were trying to sell is that their parents were very rigid. His teacher, you know, they kind of set off the rules, right? Okay, when you come down here into the monster world, you're your own person. You can play games. You can stay up as long as you want. You can eat whatever you want. No one's gonna tell you what to do. The problem is that Brian was never really constrained by society or adults in that way. He was only being scolded based on the merits or lack thereof of his behavior. Either he didn't turn in his homework, or he wasn't coming into class on time, or it was just that, you know, things were happening around the house that weren't being caused by him, but he was just being blamed for it. I feel like it didn't make sense that he would turn to Maurice for a friend, and I think it just seemed weird that he would latch on to him. It seemed like he was more annoyed by him as
totally he was annoyed. I was like, yeah,
he was annoyed by him. So why would he? It just didn't seem like Maurice filled any kind of void that Brian needed, and I think that there was a little bit of incongruence there. But you know, that said, if you buy into it, I was thinking, I think I was becoming Laura in this movie with your misophonia thing. The Maurice
talk about that in a while.
Was like triggering something in me. He's always like twitchy and moving. He's jingling and jangling. He's got these skeleton earrings that are like coming off. He's got chains and pins all over his jacket. You know, he's always like ding 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 ding. It was driving me insane, and I totally forgot about that in this movie. But, you know, if you can mute the movie and watch him,
you mute it.
he's pretty interesting. I think visually he wouldn't be appealing to kids. I remember being scared by his appearance as a kid. Like, he's got like the sharp teeth, warts all over his face, horns. He's got this kind of frizzy mohawk. It's very off-putting. But the thing that I think watching it this time around that I never noticed was like what you said, Laura. He's on coke or something. Every time he finishes the sentence, he has to laugh at himself.
Yeah.
He'll say, you know, oh, then you go down the stairs. And every time that he did that, and he wasn't even making a joke, he was just doing that to fill in the silence. It bugged the shit out of me. So I think, you know, before he's sort of an endearing character, he's like fascinating and entertaining, but like now watching it as an adult, it just got on my audio misophonia nerves.
Yeah.
Lord,
my whole body was just like lighting up. It was just like triggered.
Do you need to explain, Laura, what Greg is talking about for anybody that possibly is listening for the first time? What the fuck is going on with your disorder?
Oh yeah, it's been a while since we've talked about it. So misophonia and misokinesia. No, is that the other one? God, why am I asking?
Don't
Greg?
ask
I
me.
know. It's weird.
We're not afflicted
Um,
with it.
Actually, more common than you think. As Rob would say, it's like a disease. It's not. But basically, you get triggered by either, most people have it with audio. You get triggered by noises. So, like, I feel like everyone kind of shares some of these, right? Like the way someone eats a banana if they don't close their mouth, right? And they're smacking. Like people get pretty annoyed by that, or when people pop bubble gum, But then there's also visual triggers that can just make you feel really anxious and kind of angry. Like I get it a lot if this was many moons ago, but I used to ride the train into the city for work. And if I sat next to people who would just shake their leg really fast, just seeing that would I don't know. I would just get so angry and like go crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a real condition. Look it up. And
Not a disease, by the way. I think we should,
not a
we should
disease.
go back and correct. Not a disease.
I'm pretty
more like
sure-
a disorder,
No.
if anything.
I'm pretty sure Laura gave it to Greg. That's why Greg has it now.
Oh, yeah. We used to talk about it a lot more because I used to point it out a lot more, but I'm trying to be less annoying and not talk about it too much. Unless there's a big one.
Yeah, if you got it, Laura, you got to shout it out because it's always awesome to hear about.
What about
your
when he
little
was
shit.
like pulling his earwax out of his ear? That didn't trigger anything for
Greg, this whole movie triggered me. This whole movie.
Just
What are you
check.
talking about, Laura? You love earwax. I thought that would get you going.
It's all of it.
No,
I can't.
didn't do it. Oh, okay, all right. I don't know. For me, like I as a child of divorce, as a child of like the uncomfortableness and uneasiness of like knowing your parents are not happy and talking behind closed doors about what's possibly going to happen. Like I get that. I felt that. And wanting to escape into another realm where you get to do whatever you want, whether it's with a fucking monster that's an asshole or not, I don't know. But I don't know.
That's
I
interesting.
I dug it. Like I dug it. I would want to go hang out with Maurice. I would want to go down there and fucking pull people's pants down and eat hamburgers and play video games and shit and escape the reality of like possibly my life and what it's going to become having separate parents or whatever you want to call it. And so like I got it as a kid. I got it as a kid. I get it now as an adult even more. I think as a parent now it's even
Wow.
crazier.
I didn't think that those two things were tied together in
I didn't
any
either, but
way.
now that you mention
Anyway.
it's interesting
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the scene where they were talking about they gave their kids the official notice that they're going to split. Fred, Brian he immediately checked out, right? He didn't want to react. He didn't even want to be part of that situation. So the first thing that he did turn to was going back down into the monster world
Yeah.
with Maurice.
It's escapism, man. It's escapism. You want something different. You don't want to deal with the reality of your life, especially as a
Now I
kid.
feel like an insensitive asshole. That's
Pretty much you
like-
are. You guys both are. You both are
stop
assholes.
it. No,
You
but
know?
you know what it
You,
is?
you
I
and your
really,
you and your perfect homes growing up and shit. And
oh,
man,
stop it.
how
But
dare you two?
you're on one tonight.
I know I am.
I just really hope that, and again, I did not watch this as a kid, so I
Mm.
can't say, but I just really hope that when kids watch this, it bothered me that all they did was bad stuff down there. I mean, I know they
Yeah.
kind of touched on like, oh, we could eat all the junk food we want. I wish it would have been more like that. We can do whatever we want. We could play games and eat junk food and do that. It was like the rule was you have to go fuck up other kids' lives.
yeah.
And so I really was disappointed with that because
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to tie this saying that the divorce and the escapism actually were connected in this movie, because it sure felt like totally two different movies happening at once.
Mhm.
But if that is the case, probably shouldn't be teaching kids like to then go misbehave and act out to get out their feelings about their parents
well,
divorcing.
that's the thing. Though, is
probably
this movie-
not productive.
Well,
right?
this movie is not teaching them to do that. This movie is teaching them not to do that. When Fred Savage is like, "This is wrong. Like, you guys shouldn't be doing this." He's actually teaching any kid that's watching this, like, "No, it's actually not right to do this. Like, you're being little dickheads." Even though I love the montage of doing pranks on fucking people, like fucking putting saran wrap on the toilet seat was fucking funny. Earwax was hilarious. I mean, one of my favorite scenes is fucking when Maurice pisses in the bully's apple juice jar and shit. And
Oh my god, that was
that
horrible.
was hilarious. That was hilarious. Like, come on, you guys have never thought about doing that to somebody?
I just
What?
No, I thought it was a bit extreme. So when I was little, I remember being heavily into pranks, right?
Yeah,
But like
of course.
my sense of pranks was like, order, like back when you could order stuff out of catalogs, paper catalogs that would come in the mail. There was always some catalogs that would have pranks. Like you could get like whoopee cushions or stuff that would make like things dirty, or stink bombs. Like to me, that was like acceptable. I was like heavily interested in that, especially getting back at like kids that you thought were bullies that deserved it. It's enticing, right? But they went pretty far with the pranks.
They go far. They did go far. I don't think I've ever done any of those things, but I definitely thought about them back in the day when I was a kid. Not you, Laura. You seem surprised that I wanted to like piss in somebody's apple juice, Laura.
Yeah, like that's pretty extreme.
That's pretty extreme. Is it because it's hard for you to piss into things, being a woman?
It has nothing to do with that. No? It's not a jealousy thing.
She's upset because she can't.
I think I'm just thinking like if someone did that to my own kid, like if I found out that my daughter like drank someone's urine right now, like if that happened at school, and I'm pretty sure I would fucking flip out. I would go Maurice, but Gardner.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't think about the opposite of the coin. I didn't think about my son drinking piss.
What would you do if you found out that some kid did that to your kid?
Well, first I'd be like, "Well, were you bullying him? Are you a bully?" And then if he says yes, I'd be like, "All right, well, drink that piss, kid."
Okay, what did he do? What did he do to deserve to drink urine?
Oh, in the movie, the bully kid?
No, I'm saying drinking urine is pretty up there for me in like severity.
It's water soluble. It's okay.
So I know you can drink it, but it doesn't mean it's right, Greg.
It's true. We're not stranded on like a desert or something like that, Greg.
I know. I do. You have an interesting point, Rob. It's like what they were saying is, so when you go on down into this monster world, you're really having fun at the expense of others, which is kind of like, they're trying to say that maybe that's where a kid wants to direct his anger and energy into gratifying himself at the expense of others. But you're just being a monster that way. And if you continue down that path, you will turn into a monster, and you can't turn back. So they're saying you shouldn't. They're basically supporting the opposite point of view. Like this is not something that you would want to do. It's sort of a heed my advice type of story.
Yeah, I mean, my only like negative to this movie, I don't have many negatives, you guys. Is why are the monsters doing this? I mean, I know later on, like this, I mean, I don't know if this is based on it, but you got Monsters Inc. Pixar movie.
Yes, totally.
Where it's exactly the same story, but the monsters are doing the scares for a reason, because they need like the energy from scares to like power their world and shit like this. Like this movie doesn't set up any type of rules or to like why are they scaring kids? Like, what's the point of it? Does anybody get anything other than creepy ass boy being like, "Go do my work"? What do you think about that, Laura? Having like no plot.
I'm like angry. I'm upset with this comparison because
somebody pissed in your apple juice?
Yeah, you did. I love Monsters Inc. Love it.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, me too.
And I mean, in that movie, yes, I guess they are scaring children. They're making them scream once, right? But they're not affecting other people. They're just making the kids scream. Okay, now which I know that's horrible, but in this movie, they're actually causing harm to like multiple people, and it's affecting these children's lives. Like for example, they ate this girl's homework, and she got a 0. That is fucked up.
Laura, did you get a lot of straight A's? Is that why you're mad about the homework?
I mean, I did all right, but I'm
an undeserved 0 on
to
her
me.
paper.
That was like one of the least memorable ones. Like, who gives a shit
she
about
could
the
like
paper?
she could tape that paper. That paper wasn't even in pieces. She could just tape
also,
it back together.
I'm kind of pissed that the teacher
stuff.
gave her a 0. Didn't he see the words? She still had the paper. It was just messed up.
Yeah, at least give her a 10.
God, I have a lot of problems with this movie.
I know. I think Laura got her homework 8 once.
I agree with you, Rob. Like midway through the movie, like it seemed pointless. Like, what was the plot?
Yeah.
What's the conflict? I mean, to me, again, watching this on my phone, I tapped the screen. I see we're halfway. And it was like the purpose so far was that the monsters just want to cause mischief in other kids' houses. Okay. That's it. It seemed, it didn't seem like we were going anywhere with that. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure too if the point of all the monsters is every monster a kid that stayed down there too long and turned into a monster?
Yeah, that could be. It could be, yeah.
Or is there like a mother monster out there popping out monster babies or something?
No, I think it's kids that stay down there.
Really? So that's what it is? Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
That-
that's
that-
kind of what I figured. Yeah. I don't know.
That's a lot of missing fucking kids. Nobody's talking about these missing kids everywhere. Those kids don't just they just disappear.
Who knows, man?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s. Everything went missing in the 80s.
The 80s, yeah. That's funny. Let's see. What do you guys want to talk about now? Do you guys want to talk about creepiness of this movie? You got
Yeah.
the second half. It really turns into fucking really creepy shit.
Totally.
Pretty much when Boy shows up and the other henchman guy is kind of creepy. What did you think about the creepiness, Laura, as an adult, and maybe if you could think of like watching it as a child?
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to do through a lot of my watch, and I definitely feel like I actually the whole ending I became a lot happier with the film. I thought that it was getting kind of scary, and so I was picturing like little Laura watching this and thinking I probably would have liked this because I did kind of like that spooky
did like
stuff, and
spooky
I
shit.
think I probably would have really liked that. Plus,
You watched,
I feel
you
like
watched like slashers when you were like 5 and shit, weren't you? Right?
no.
Oh, okay, 6. Sorry.
No, but I think I would have liked this, and I feel like I mean the divorce stuff was really sad, and I didn't like watching that obviously. But at the end when he's trying to save his little brother, I just felt like the movie had a lot of heart, and it was like I liked that change in the storyline. I was happy they went in that direction, and like he loved his brother and was gonna look out for him, and I loved the scenes where they were running more west to try to like beat
Yeah,
the
that
sun.
was
I
cool.
thought that was really smart and really cute. Yeah, so the whole ending was great. And going back to your point, yeah, Boy was creepy, and when he doesn't have a face, I was
Oh, yeah.
actually like, ugh,
You thought he was creepier without the face?
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was creepier with the face for some
With the
reason.
face, he looks like a boy, like an
He looks
actual
like a
boy.
like a doll boy.
He does,
boy
but
doll.
like because I've seen this movie before, like I know that's not his real face. So like you start putting things together of
Mm.
like he took the skin off some kid's face and put that on his face. Like to me, that's more fucked up, knowing that he's like leather facing that shit.
Yeah,
So, like,
totally.
to me, that's more fucked up than
Ooh.
his weird little gremlin looking face underneath
Wow.
and shit. What about you, Greg? Like the horror-ish, creepy shit of this movie?
Man, a lot of this is nightmare fuel. Well, I think Laura, you mentioned that this was some permutation of Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I think may have been released like a year before this or something. And there, I definitely got that vibe. There was one of the early scenes where I think right when Maurice met Brian, his eyes popped out of his head with like
Yeah.
the eye stems like
Oh.
extending like a foot in front of his face. I wanted to turn the movie off right there and be like, nope,
Yeah.
fuck that.
That shit was
I'm
like
out.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes.
That was creepy as fuck.
I'm just
Yeah.
not good on eye stuff after watching
Oh.
Hostel either.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of that stuff
if you
was
know,
like-
you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. IKYYK, yeah.
God.
No, I mean a lot of that stuff, like, you know, there actually was a lot of violence. At some point, who was the larger monster? He decapitated one of the younger
Yeah.
monsters and
Head
like
off.
threw his head on another body
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I think one of the monsters got lit on fire by Maurice toward the end. Just like full on flamethrower to the body. So again, it was pretty violent, and I don't remember that stuff growing up watching this movie. But I you know, I do think you have a great point, Rob. Like I feel like watching this now as an adult, I was much more in tune with what was happening between the parents.
Mm.
So
Mm.
starting from the beginning of the movie, right, the mom and dad were angry at each other for, you know, the dad was being a little bit distant from the family. He had a 2-hour drive commute. He wasn't present when he was at home. He was watching like a baseball game or something while the mom was sandpapering the walls. Like every scene that came up, I started thinking, again, this is you like putting yourself in the shoes of characters. When
Yeah.
you're a kid, you put yourself in the shoes of Fred Savage, and you think you know about the world from that vantage point. But as an adult, I was watching this movie like, shit, do I do this? Like, do I come home and like, you know, I left all my energy at work and I don't have time. Like, I was really thinking, I was invested in like the mom and dad's relationship actually in this movie. And every time they had like conflicts, and you know, a lot of the back and forth was sort of off in the background. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It wasn't at
Yeah.
the forefront, but if you listen closely, they were having like adult conversations and stuff
Yeah.
that you would hear, or stuff that you might even say with your spouse. And I was like, man, like they have a pretty serious thing going on.
Greg's like, I
so-
want to watch this movie.
yeah,
A
exactly.
parent movie and shit.
Uh,
That's funny. That's funny. I thought you would really dig this movie, Greg, knowing your love for Labyrinth. It's very similar in plot. Like one of the siblings gets taken, the other one has to rescue it and goes into a different world to do it. And there's a fucking David Bowie's a creeper
I
with like
guess
a
if you put it
bulging
that
ball
way.
sack and
No,
Fucking
so
Howie Mandel.
a couple of differences here. Well, first similarities, yes. There's a lot of Jim Henson-ish disturbing imagery.
Mhm.
Spot on. You were right with that. So, but then that's where the similarities end. I think like David Bowie is a mysterious, obviously like, you know, attractive, intriguing individual as a
attractive.
Interesting.
yeah, Maurice,
villain?
not so much.
Yeah,
No?
Maurice and everybody else.
No.
It's very like off-putting, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't bang Maurice, Laura?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
No, he can get out his little wolf paw and lick you, you know?
Nope.
Nothing, Laura? No?
Nope.
Oh, all right. You'd rather
Not happening.
you'd rather do David Bowie from Labyrinth?
100%.
Wow. Okay.
That one scene was pretty funny though, when Maurice was like, "You know what happens when I get upset?" And that little thing pops out of his head, and then the big guy was like, "What the hell was that?" And he goes, "I don't know. It's just what happens when I get upset." I don't know.
Wow.
But then I also like, okay, so I felt Sarah in the Labyrinth was annoying, but I liked her ability to change and be different and grow from her ordeals. I don't really feel like.
You don't feel like Maurice changed and grew at the end of this movie?
Oh, I
Oh,
was
Maurice.
I thought you meant Brian.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean both a bit, but Maurice definitely changed. I think so. I mean, he was the most obvious change for me. He stopped doing cocaine somewhere in the movie.
So
Yeah,
to me,
thank
to me,
God.
Maurice would be like Hoggle in Labyrinth. He's like the
Yeah.
guide that was an asshole after his own self-interest, and he became a friend, and he became a worthy ally who grew integrity from the travel. So
Mhm.
yeah, in that sense, I like both of those characters. But as far as like the main protagonist, I feel like Brian didn't really change much.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing I could say is that he saved his brother, whereas he and his brother seemed a little bit adversarial at the start of the movie.
Mhm.
Other than that, I mean, like, I don't know.
I mean, the only change for Brian that really happened in this movie is the realization of like no, I don't want to be in this fucking monster world. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I want to be in the real world. I want to be with my friends. I want to be with my family. Hopefully, they fucking stay together. He has no control over that.
he made that change halfway through the movie. He was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Although,
But then that to
Oh.
me, that means there's a whole half another movie that he didn't spend. Like I guess maybe I wanted to see. This is part of where what you're talking about, Laura, makes more sense. Where I feel like it would have made more sense to me that he spent 90% of the movie wanting to be down in the monster world and being like, this is where I want to be. I can actually get away from my friends and family, and then sort of struggling against that and coming out the other side. But halfway through, he knew. He was like, Maurice, what you're doing is wrong. This whole place is wrong. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, but he's still at that point is choosing the wrongness of a world where he can do whatever he wants, or fucking his real world where his fucking parents are getting divorced and his family's going to be broken up and all that. So it's like at that point he's still making the decision of like, yeah, this world kind of sucks. These people are assholes, but at least it's kind of family-ish.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true too. That's where my insensitive asshole just comes out with like the whole divorce thing.
What do you think, Laura? You got anything to say? You're just shaking your head over there.
do you guys ever sit back and realize that we are arguing about a 1989 child's movie? Just listening to you guys go back and forth, I was like, who fucking cares? No. But
Yeah.
I did have one closing point though. If he really didn't want to be a monster so bad, then why, God, tell me why at the end when they had no time to get out.
Mhm.
They had no time to get out. All the
Right.
kids got out, and
Oh.
fucking Brian took like an additional 6 minutes to say goodbye to Maurice. The sun was up, yo. Like
Yeah.
Yo.
you're a monster.
Yeah.
God, that really pissed me
I
off.
was
Pissed you off?
I was
That's
like,
so
get
sentimental.
him out of there.
Yeah,
Wow.
I like missed the sentiment because I was like, "Go!" I just had so
You can
much
see
anxiety.
him tomorrow, bro. Get him out of there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys
Why
are
were they
crazy.
acting like they were never going to see each other again? Like, aren't the monsters still around? I don't know.
I don't know. I took it as like that's the last time they were gonna see each other.
You
Like,
think
that's-
that
But
they
why?
would, they would
What's the reason?
excommunicate Maurice because
Well,
he
there's a-
helped the kids or what?
yeah, he gets murdered after the credits roll.
Oh,
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I the creepiness in this movie still gets me. The ending is creepy as fuck. Boy is scary. All
is
that
his
shit
name
at the
Boy?
end. Yeah, it's just called Boy. Yeah, they just call
Oh.
him Boy. Yeah.
Okay.
So all that stuff is creepy. But I do want to give some positives to like the effects in this movie and like the puppetry with like the clothes moving
Oh,
around is
yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, Greg, that's very Jim Henson. Puppetry shit. I thought a lot of the effects worked, especially for this budget. Probably was super small, but I have to give props for all that stuff in this movie. I thought it was funny. I thought it really worked. All the ingenuity I liked from Brian, like making his bed so it would like close on the monsters and shit with like gear shifters and ropes.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was younger, I used to like build things like that and try to build contraptions and take apart VCRs and radios to see what's inside and try to like build things from it. So I really
Yeah.
dug that stuff. Then of course, like my favorite stuff towards the end of this movie is like any movie with like a team up. When characters team up to fight somebody and there's like a montage of them suiting up and getting ready, that shit gets my juices flowing. So when they're pulling fucking light bulbs and batteries, I'm like, I have my popcorn and I'm like, let's get them, assholes, let's get them, like let's get them. I
Yeah.
got my flashlights going. I love that shit. And then of course you have the reveal at the end of like they brought in the bully. And the
Yeah.
bully's part of the team now, and he has like the
Yeah,
fucking
that's pretty
batteries and
great.
shades. Like you said, Laura, the last 20 minutes of this movie is pretty damn
great.
good.
Yeah.
I
good.
can see your guys' problems with a lot of this movie. Like this writing is not great and this and that, but I mean the last 20 minutes are pretty damn fucking cool.
Yeah.
Especially for 89 shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to our ratings of this movie. I'm not very hopeful for you guys, but let's see here. Maybe my divorce stories will give you a bump in rating because you don't want to feel like an asshole. Let's see, 1 to 5. Let's do the obvious. How many bags of Doritos are you giving this movie? So how many bags are you guys giving?
How about
it?
how many peanut butter and onion sandwiches?
Oh, you know what? That was the scariest part of this movie.
That was
That's
pretty fucking
disgusting.
disgusting.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting to think about, but did either of you like think about it? Like, I kind of want to know what that tastes like.
Hell no.
I did. I know. I
Uh-uh.
do want to know.
I
what it tastes
did.
like, but
I ate it.
Actually, I just ate it right now. I just no
Oh.
hyperbole. Worst thing I ever put in my mouth about
That's true,
pork Tabasco.
It's gross.
All right, so maybe on a future pod we'll check back and be like, me and Greg ate the peanut butter and onion sandwich and we'll
Ugh.
critique it or not, So do you guys want to do that as 1 to 5? How many peanut
Mhm.
butter and onion sandwiches? Let's do that. Okay, 1 to 5. How many peanut butter and onion sandwiches? You can put
Perfect.
Doritos in it if you want.
Nice.
Greg, where are you at in this movie? 1 to 5.
Yeah, honestly, the movie wasn't too bad. I felt like most of the movie, I wasn't sold on the monster world. Like, you know what? The first thing that it reminded me of was in the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when they would take the teenagers who were, trying to get away from their parents or runaways, and they brought them into this giant warehouse, and they were able to play arcades and steal merchandise and have whatever they want. That seemed more believable as like an escape for kids. This one just seemed like you're hanging out with creepy things, and it was like a dirty place full of wood. It didn't really sell me. So a lot of the movie, I was like, I didn't see the point too much, and it kind of dragged. But I did really appreciate. I think what they did really well was the practical effects, the ingenuity. I definitely think that Monsters Inc. took a lot from this movie. The whole thing about. And this isn't a knock on Monsters Inc., right? By the way, I love Monsters Inc. Great movie. In fact, if they took anything, they took the idea and then they expanded it and improved upon it, right?
Yeah.
But this movie is definitely pretty, creative and ingenious in that way. It just seems so unrealized to me in a lot of ways. And again, like I said earlier on, I was confused about the target audience. Like I feel like I wouldn't enjoy it as a kid or an adult. It was just weird to me. But definitely the heart was there, and it ended off with a lot of heart, like you said, Laura. So I'll give it a 3. I'll say 3
Wow.
PB&O
Wow.
sandwiches.
Wow, Laura's eyebrows shot up so high they almost flew off the Zoom screen.
I was
Holy shit.
surprised at that 3. I think you got him with your, don't be a dick. Don't-
Yeah, Greg's feeling it right now. Greg's like, don't be an asshole, everybody. Don't be an asshole. Oh, that's funny. What about you, Laura, then? Where are you at with this this movie?
I'm definitely going to be an asshole.
Laura's an
because-
asshole. I knew it. I knew
Look,
it.
I said I liked all the stuff at the end, but overall, I just didn't dig it. And I think I might have liked this as a kid, but
Hmm.
I didn't see it as a kid,
Yeah,
so I don't
can't
know.
know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 1.75.
Wow.
But to what you said, Rob, like I hear you and I see you. I hear what you're saying. So you know what? That
You
one
sound like my therapist back in the
Yeah.
day.
exactly. So that one sandwich is loaded. It's got
Oh, wow.
onions and
Peanut
PB and
butter,
J and
Doritos.
ranch and nacho cheese. Doritos.
Wow. I might eat
And then
that
you just
sandwich.
have like a regular sandwich.
Oh, okay. All right.
75. Just
Extra
like with the
one.
crust cut off.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I don't like the crust anyway. It's okay. All right.
The peanuts in the peanut butter,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
not
nice.
the
I like
smooth
it.
jiffy type. Yeah.
Wow,
the
crazy.
smooth kind's the best.
No. Okay. Yeah, Greg really surprised me with his 3. I don't know. Like that shocked me too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know where I was going with this. But definitely Greg saying a 3. I'm like, wow, I definitely have to like it more than Greg. I know that for sure. Yeah, I mean, I really liked this movie. Like I thought it was fun and quirky and kind of ridiculous. And definitely like I have nostalgia for remembering it when I was a
Yeah.
kid and watching it from a kid, even though like it scared me when I was little and shit. I remember watching it. So I would say, man, this is a tough one for me. Like I say 3.5. Then I'll go a little bit above Greg. I say 3.5 for me. 3.5 peanut butter and onion sandwiches with fucking tuna and piss in there and shit. A bunch of crazy
Oh
shit.
my god! So your 3 is really a 0.
No, but I'm gonna make Greg eat it though. I'm gonna make Greg eat it.
Oh
Oh
no.
Greg's my bully. I'm gonna make him eat it. Yeah. So there we go. Everybody listening, if you guys want to let us know what you would rate this movie at, if you like it, if you don't like it, I'm interested to hear because it is nostalgic and from '89 and shit. Check out our merch. Check out our merch at our merch store. Maybe I could work on a peanut butter and onion sandwich shirt. That'd be kind of cool.
No, don't do it.
Check out the merch, tpublic.com/user/conjecturingpod. Also, don't forget to don't forget to subscribe, rate, review our podcast everywhere you listen. Check out the other great shows on the Slash and Cast Podcast Network, slashandcast.network. And that's it. That's it for this week. Let's see. So that's it from this week here. Until next time, remember, horror is subjective, so conjecture away. See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye.